So, you may recall that I revealed to you when we did our white stone ceremony that my word was a rather strange word, which was heresy. Because normally when we go to the white stone ceremony, we kind of expect to get a word like love or peace or something Hallmark cardish. And here it was heresy. And the definition of heresy is opinion profoundly at odds with what is generally accepted, or belief or opinion contrary to orthodox religious, especially Christian, doctrine. So clearly, I'm a heretic, and I think pretty well we all are. That's just why we're here, right? Well, what I didn't tell you was I actually got two words. And the other word was actually first, and it, of course, was open. Hence the title, Open Heresy. Now, I think that what happened there is Spirit suggesting that I could be even more open about my heresy. I'm already pretty open, but I should maybe speak more often, more openly, maybe not just here at Unity where everybody already agrees with me, but risk taking it out there a little bit more. Now, I don't want to be a heretic in a rude or accusing way. I don't want to dissuade anyone from their orthodox or generally accepted opinions. But I do think that I, and we, could be more willing to share out there, to risk people might not agree with it, to risk disapproval, because there are an awful lot of people out there who really want to find us, and they don't even know we're here or who we are. So I go back in thinking about who we are to 4 years ago when we were finding our way to come together as Unity Vancouver Island. If you're relatively here, you may know that we used to be Unity Nanaimo, and there used to be a Unity Victoria and a Unity Comox Valley. And what we did was, this was about the time of COVID, we all came together to be better together. And we did an exercise to identify the positive experiences at Unity that keep us coming back that we'd like to be able to offer to others. And that led to a list of 7 what we call our wondrous words. I don't know if you remember, we did that series of talks. And those wondrous words that people associate with Unity are welcome, love, accept, inspire, connect, empower, and create. Do those sound like Unity words to you? Yeah. So they represent who we are and why people might want to join us. So if you arrange those words in the right way, I see a progression that represents the Unity journey for many of us, and that we aspire to provide for new people coming. So first of all, we welcome you, them, everybody. And to welcome is to greet hospitably and with courtesy or cordiality. And I certainly hope we've done that as a very minimum in welcoming you here. So the word welcome actually is, well, come on in. You know, that's how we do it. Hopefully we've done that. And then we accept people. We accept them just the way they are and for who they are. Because inclusivity has always been a pillar of the Unity way. Long before, churches had to take lessons in how to be affirming and all sorts of other stuff. We've always been open. To us, it's a non-issue, whether, as Eddie Watkins says, you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open to you. And so far, that's easy for us, right? But in Unity, we are called upon to stretch ourselves and do some of the things that aren't so easy, really, because we're growing together, right? So black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew. But what about the mentally ill person who might disrupt the service? What about the unspoken angry conservative? Or the outspoken angry liberal, or the outspoken pacifist, or the outspoken communist? Anybody might come in who's different. And there's many ways that we welcome people, accepting them exactly as they are. And sometimes that's a very big stretch, isn't it? But we are called upon to stretch. So our third word is connection. To connect is to join together so as to provide access and communication. I put communication in block caps, right? I like to go online quite often and check the definition of words I'm going to use. And right now on Google, if you Google connection, all they talk about is your internet connection. You know, the example of how to use this word in the sentence is, oh no, I've lost my connection. For us, hopefully, that's not still our primary means of communication. We still go back to coming together, conversation, active listening, perhaps touching, perhaps joining hands for the peace song, perhaps hugging, while at the same time being conscious to respect and sense whether that person is ready to hug you or hold your hand. You know, that difficult balance we find? Oops. So next, we love them. That's our fourth thing. We love them. Now, I don't have to look up the definition of love, do I? To us, love is God. God is love. Love is God. So when we love you, what is happening, also in Eddie Watkins' song, the God in us is recognizing the God in you. That's love, right? And unconditional love, which is what we aspire to, unconditional love does not have an object. It's not about loving something or loving someone. It's just about being love. So hopefully when people come in here, they are just surrounded by love. And sometimes people feel that. They come in here and say, wow, the energy is great in here. That's what love does. So we just be love. And when people come in, they're surrounded by love, and whether they want to jump right in and get involved and gather in a bucket full of hugs, or whether they want to sit in the back row for a few weeks and just check things out. And part of love then is to respect, which means respecting that some people are not comfortable hugging you just yet or shaking your hands. So love includes awareness, sensitivity, and respect, right? Okay. And next, we empower people. And to me, that's the favoritist part of what we do here. Our purpose is to empower you, everyone, to be strong and confident, especially in controlling their life and claiming their rights and knowing their capabilities, right? We teach worthiness. And no matter what's happened in your life, what's happened to you or what you've done, no matter, at this moment, you are not flawed. You are not damaged goods. Right now, in this moment, you are right there in front of infinite possibility. And you decide what you do. So that's empowering people. And to support them in recognizing their capabilities and encourage them. You can do it, instead of asking somebody else. Sometimes there's this huge difference between help and support. Because sometimes helping people just recognizes their weaknesses and encourages their perceived inability. You know, sometimes supports doesn't feel as gentle, warm, fuzzy as we hope, but it does us a whole lot of good, right? We build people's confidence. We encourage them to push themselves. Yeah, so many times catering to their perceived inabilities keeps them small. So we empower and we inspire. Hopefully we inspire people. To inspire someone is to fill them with the urge or the ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. So we hope to do that. We allow our own brightness to shine. As an example, I think it was Matthew read last week the message from Desmond Tutu. You know, you're not helping anybody else out there by playing small yourself. We shine our own lights as an example and inspiration and encouragement to others. We don't hide our light under a bushel. We let it shine brightly to show others the way. Right? So once folks then have been welcomed, accepted, connected with, loved, empowered, and inspired, the last word is create. They create. And now, we're always creating, all of us, right? But we begin to create consciously. Consciously creating, consciously choosing what comes into our life. And we create a new and better life for ourselves and for others around us, and eventually the world. Sometimes we create a completely new reality for ourselves. I mean, I am nowhere near the same person I was when I came into this teaching. So we're able to leave behind what has reached the end of its usefulness, like the phoenix rising, yes? And you all know the story of the phoenix to some extent, but I'm going to tell it again. So the phoenix is a mythical bird from Greek mythology, a feathered creature of great size with talons and wings, its plumage radiant and beautiful in scarlets, purples, and gold. This majestic creature lives in paradise, a land of unimaginable perfection and beauty that exists somewhere beyond the brilliance of the sun. However, in time, the phoenix bird begins to feel the effects of its age, and after 1,000 years is ready to move on. As the phoenix lives in paradise, it can never truly die. However, it is possible for the creature to be reborn. To do this, the phoenix flies west into the mortal world, into our world. It is necessary to leave paradise and enter our world for the creature to be reborn. Just thinking about it, is that why we're here? I don't know. Anyway, it flies west until it reaches the spice groves that grow in Arabia. It stops there to collect only the finest herbs and spices, especially cinnamon, before continuing its journey to Phoenicia, which likely was named for the phoenix, right? When it reaches Phoenicia, it builds a nest of the herbs and spices it has gathered and waits for the sun to rise. The next morning, when the sun god begins to drag his chariot across the sky, the phoenix turns east to face him as the sun rises above the horizon. It then sings the most beautiful and haunting melody known to man, so perfect that even the sun god has to pause and listen. And when he starts his chariot up again, he causes a spark to fall from the sky and ignite and consume most of the nest of herbs and the phoenix in flames. After 3 days, sound familiar? A new phoenix rises from the ashes and begins the next cycle of 1,000 years, carrying the remaining ashes of its parent to the great Heliopolis, the Sun City, and returning to paradise until its cycle comes to an end. So this theme of resurrection and rebirth is found throughout all the world's stories. Counterparts to the phoenix are the Bennu of Egyptian philosophy, mythology, the Chinese Feng Huang, and Russian Firebird. They're all variations of the same, and these are often the subjects of quests in folklore stories. So, where am I? Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Anyway, Christianity also adopted the depiction of the phoenix rising as a symbol of rebirth and eternal life, the classic mythological imagery of resurrection, of life reborn anew and transformed. And as I say, that's a recurring theme throughout history, at least as far back as Egyptian times, about 5,000 years ago. So this resurrection theme, I actually married a couple in Kamloops who had both felt so damaged by the previous communities when they came into New Thought, when they got married, they actually changed their name, their family name, to Phoenix. I thought, how cool was that? You know? So we could think of what has happened at Unity on Vancouver Island after the past few years as a rising from the ashes of what has been laid waste by COVID, for one thing, by our fire, by the dissolution of our separate communities. We've been through a lot, and it's the beginning of a fresh new journey. And I think we have come to appreciate the opportunities as they arose. So the Phoenix story, like the Easter story, like the Christmas story, like Scripture, can be interpreted literally or metaphorically, heretically possibly. And that's where our heresy comes in, right? Either way, there's a valuable lesson, whether you interpret these stories literally or whether you find the higher, deeper meaning to them. There's always the lesson there that can transform our lives by lifting ourselves out of the ashes and being reborn. And where does that rebirth take place? In consciousness, right? Change your thinking, change your life, right? Always. And it all begins with that welcome, that introduction, the opening of the door to a higher wisdom. So we aspire to be a place of learning here, not so much by being lectured to or being told, but by discovery, discovering for yourself. And so however you hold what we say here is welcome too. You know, we are not all required to fit the same mold and think the same way and believe the same things exactly. So when we welcome you to Unity, that's what we're offering, the opportunity to raise yourself up in consciousness, no matter how high up in consciousness you already are, and some of you are pretty high up there, but there's always the opportunity to rise higher, go further up the mountain, metaphorically, right? So I was going to say that you are welcome here to find your own truth, but it might be more appropriate to say you are welcome to understand and express the truth in your own way. There are no creeds to be recited here, no doctrine that you must learn. There's some useful suggestions, like the fact that we all have 12 powers innate within us, and whenever we have a challenge or a problem, we can look and see which of my powers shall I activate today. My power of faith, strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, elimination, or life. We all have all of those. And we can say, hey, and then we might use a combination of them. Maybe release an imagination when we want something new. Maybe love and understanding when we have a conflict in our life. We've all got those. And then, of course, we have our 5 basic principles. 2 minutes from now, you're going to know everything you need to know. There is one power and presence in the world, infinite, eternal, universal, knows everything, can do everything, and is everywhere. That's one. Given that that universal power is everywhere, it's in me, it's in you, we're God stuff. Number 3, being God stuff, we do what God does, which is create with our word. Number 4, the way we easily access our higher consciousness or that intuitive knowledge and wisdom that's out there is through meditation and affirmative prayer. And number 5, it's not enough to know this, you got to act on it. You got to live from it. That's it. That's the Unity teaching. Now you know it all, right? Okay. And I mean, all the others just set dressing, right? We are welcome to participate in the way that is appropriate for you. Would you prefer a handshake or a hug? Do you want to sit at the back of the room for a quick getaway? You're welcome to do that. I had a woman in Winnipeg that sat in the back and slunk out the door right away for 6 months until she was sure we weren't going to bring out the Kool-Aid. You know. Some people want to go away quickly. Some people want to hang out and visit for a long time. I mean, sometimes you got to start stacking chairs around them before they get up and go home. You're welcome to do that too. Some people want to go home and just digest what they heard today, and you're welcome to do that. because we appreciate your authenticity and your uniqueness and your heresy, if you wish. I once had a couple, they'd be coming to the Positive Living Center in Victoria for about 6 months. And they came to me and said, would it be okay if we started volunteering now? You know, most people, if they see dishes being washed or chairs being stacked, they just automatically pitch in and help. A lot of people are ready to sign up and commit and say, hey, I'll be there on dishes every week. And there's other people that say, hey, I work hard all week. Sunday's my day of rest. Let somebody else do it for me. Any of those is perfectly okay, just the way you are. You're welcome to clap and sing and with the music and cheer the musicians if you want to and get up and dance if you want to. You're welcome to sit with your arms and legs folded if you want to. You are welcome to like or not like everything that's said and sung and played. Take what you love and leave the rest. Right? In the same way that we say God, the divine source, spirit, whatever it is you choose to call the power that's greater than us, we are saying it does not love people. It just loves. In the same way, we don't welcome you because of anything you say or do or be. We don't welcome you for any reason. We just welcome you, accept you, connect with you, love you, inspire you, empower you, and create with you a better life. Because that's who we are. That's who we are. We are welcomer. We are acceptors. We are lovers. We are connectors. We are inspirers. We are empowerers. And we are creators. And so it is. Amen.